Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with tall buildings and even taller dreams, there lived a boy named Leo. Leo was a kind and imaginative kid who loved everything about school, especially lunchtime, because that meant getting to spend time with his best friend, Max. Every day, they would sit together at their usual table, sharing stories, dreams, and, most importantly, their lunches. But one Monday morning, something felt off. Leo skipped into the cafeteria, eager to tell Max about his weekend adventures. But when he reached their table, he found Max sitting alone, picking listlessly at his food. This wasn't like Max. Concerned, Leo sat down next to him and asked, "Hey, what's wrong? You didn't come to my treehouse. You didn't call me for the marble race. And now you're not even eating your sandwich." Max shrugged, his eyes fixed on his plate. "I don't know," he mumbled. Leo could tell that Max was hiding something, but he didn't push him. Instead, he opened his own lunch bag, pulled out his favorite sandwich, and took a big bite. It was a peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich, a concoction that smelled weird to everyone else, but Leo adored. As he munched happily, the silence between them stretched on, making Leo feel uneasy. Then, as if realizing something, he turned to look at Max. The sight that greeted him made his heart sink. Max wasn't eating. In fact, he hadn't touched his food since Leo arrived. Instead, he was staring at Leo's sandwich with a strange expression on his face. Just then, the school bell rang, signaling the end of lunch. Leo grabbed his things and hurried to his next class, still puzzled by Max's behavior. All through the afternoon, Leo couldn't concentrate. He kept glancing at the door, hoping for Max to appear, but he didn't. Finally, the day's classes ended and Leo rushed back to the cafeteria. He found Max waiting for him, but his friend's face was still clouded with sadness. "Hey, want to go to my treehouse today?" Leo asked, trying to shake off the gloom. Max looked at him for a moment before shaking his head. "No, thanks," he whispered. Leo frowned. "Are you sure?" "We haven't played in the treehouse all week." "I'm sure," Max replied, his voice firm. Leo wanted to ask more, but seeing Max's determined face, he knew better. He nodded slowly and headed home. On the walk, Leo kicked at pebbles on the sidewalk, lost in thought. Max wasn't his usual self. Was he angry with Leo? Did he say or do something wrong? Leo thought back over their last few days, searching for an answer. They'd had a small fight about marbles, but Leo had apologized. Had Max been holding on to that grudge, or was something else bothering him? Just then, Leo remembered his sandwich. He took a deep breath. Could it be? Was Max mad about his special peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich? Leo had brought it every day since kindergarten, and Max had always teased him about the strange smell, but Leo loved it. He loved the way the sweet banana mixed with the nutty peanut butter and the golden honey drizzled on top. Each bite was a burst of sunshine and happiness in his mouth. Leo stopped walking and stared at the ground. If his sandwich upset Max, if it was the reason they'd been fighting, then he was ready to change. Shaking off the remaining thoughts, Leo continued home. Once inside, he went straight to his mom. "Mom, can we please make the sandwiches for lunch tomorrow? My favorite peanut butter, banana, and honey for you, and another one for Max, his favorite, cheese and pickle," he said. His mom looked at him, surprise etched on her face, but she smiled and hugged him. "Of course, sweetie. I'm sure Max will be very happy." The next day, Leo woke up with a mix of excitement and nervousness. He looked forward to spending time with Max, but he was also nervous about asking for forgiveness. After breakfast, he dashed to the kitchen where his mom had prepared two lunches. One was his favorite peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich, while the other had the cheesy goodness Max loved. Quickly, Leo grabbed both bags and ran out the door. He entered the cafeteria with a mix of hope and anxiety. His eyes scanned the room for Max, and when he spotted him, his heart sank. Max was sitting alone once again, and this time he seemed even sadder than before. Taking a deep breath, Leo walked towards him, his hand clutching the two sandwich bags tightly. As he got closer, Max looked up, his eyes widening in surprise when he saw Leo approaching. Leo sat down heavily on the chair opposite Max. His hands trembled slightly as he placed the sandwich bag on the table. Inside, Max stared at the offering, his expression unreadable. After a moment, Leo finally spoke. His voice was barely a whisper. Do you want to try mine?" he asked, hoping Max wouldn't notice his shaking hands. Max looked up, his eyes questioning. Then, as if making a decision, he reached out and took a bite. For a moment, there was silence except for the sound of chewing. Then Max's eyes widened. "Whoa," he breathed, his voice hushed. "This is actually good." A smile slowly spread across his face, lighting it up like the sun breaking through clouds. Leo grinned back, his earlier nervousness forgotten. "Told you," he said proudly. And for the first time in what felt like forever, they laughed together again, their joy echoing in the once silent cafeteria. No words were needed. The sandwich had spoken volumes. The apology wasn't spoken, but it was sincere. Their friendship, like the filling of Leo's sandwich, had a mix of sweet and salty flavors, but it tasted delicious. From that day on, things were different, yet the same. They still shared their lunches, but now they shared everything. One half of each sandwich was always peanut butter, banana, and honey. The other, cheese and pickle. Their friendship didn't just come back, it grew stronger, all because of a small act of kindness and a sandwich that brought them back together. As they sat together at their usual table, their laughter filling the air, Leo and Max knew that sometimes the smallest gestures can mend the biggest rifts, and that sharing a sandwich is more than just food. It's a way to say, "I care." If you enjoyed this heartwarming tale, don't forget to hit the like button below. Your support means the world to us. Now, before you go, what's your favorite sandwich? Share with us in the comments. And if you're feeling extra generous, stick around for another wonderful story.